Well, hello and welcome once again to Towcester, the home and the new home of the English Greyhound Derby, sponsored by Star Sports. We're looking at, once again, the Irish Challenge for the Classic, looking at those bigger price greyhounds, those that maybe have been under the radar. So I've got my notes here, Irish Outsiders for, and as you can see, I haven't got a clue, not for the first time. Ian, help us out. Where are we looking?
Well, considering we're going to have probably the biggest ever entry from Ireland, there's going to be plenty of big prices. But you're talking, like, we've Ballymac Matt who's coming. You know, he's going to be a big price. He's a Derby winner. He had dual Derby finals.
Still going.
He's still going, and he's still trialling very well. He's going to be a big price. Like, it's strange to think he's a Derby outsider. You have College Paradise from the same kennel, Liam Dowling. His dog really came to his own at the end of the last year. He's a strong running greyhound, could run very well. Like, obviously Paul Hennessy's going to be bringing a team as well, alongside JT Jet and Price's Brandy. Even JT Jet himself is a big price. He is a wide runner, and fair enough, he's a year older.
Can he do it again?
He's a likely race greyhound. Paul has, from the start, said this is a Derby dog only. So I'm not going to run him in any Mickey Mouse races. This dog literally runs for the Derbies, and he hasn't had a race since God knows when. You know what I mean? Obviously, in Ireland he's had very little choice. But he's a dog that he's going to get his draw most nights. He's going to avoid traffic, hopefully, and all going well, 7 runs won't affect this dog. No. He's a dog that's improved every competition. I actually think he's gone in undercooked, because he's got better and better and better as each competition's gone on. Same we said for last year's Derby, same we said for his previous English Derby challenge. When he was up, he got knocked out of the quarter-final stages, but only by a short head or something, as sort of 4 or 5 races under his belt before he even came here. But then we've other dogs, like Fraser Black is coming over with a dog called Vancouver Shea, who can run very well. I know Mick Livesey, who knows the dogs going around here, was very impressed with Droopy's Awesome. Now, Droopy's Awesome wouldn't be for me, but he's a fast dog that can keep qualifying. I wouldn't be backing him too many nights to win, because he doesn't tend to win many races, but he's a very fast greyhound. And again, it's all about qualification in terms of derbies. Pat Buckley's going to come over with a big team. Obviously, we've mentioned Cool of Animation, Droopy's Wilbury, but he's plenty of good dogs. And an added feature to this year's derby, certainly from the Irish end of things, is the bitches we're going to bring over.
And in terms of the bitches that we can expect to come across, I mean, over the years, not had too many of them?
Absolutely, and that's going to be the added element this year, because the Oaks is very much in doubt at the moment with the situation in Dublin. I could imagine we'll probably have upward of a dozen, maybe more bitches travelling, because I know Paul Hennessy will bring 1 or 2. I know Graham Holland himself could have 5 or 6, and Liam Dowling has certainly 5 or 6 bitches at home that are all capable of doing a 28-20 around Shelbourne Park. So why not bring them? You know what I mean? They all tend to like the inside. They're all good starters, and they all stay. So why not bring them? And as we've seen, it's a 7-run derby this year. When a bitch runs into form, it's very hard to oppose them.
Yeah.
Well, I know Kevin will be hoping for that with Empress Katie.
Well, that's right. I mean, over the years, Kevin, you know, bitches have been oh so close, I think. We always suspect they're just going to run out of steam late on, but there's been 1 or 2 close calls, certainly in the semi-finals. I seem to remember the Droopy's bitch of Mark Gilbert sort of getting Droopy's loner of course.
Yeah,
you know, so
close,
unlucky not to get in the final.
Yeah. It could be a good element to it this year, couldn't it? It could be a good market to look at. You know, the bitch that progresses the furthest in the derby, there could be a lot of interest in that. You know, there's a lot of good Irish bitches that could come over for it, and 1 or 2 decent English ones as well. So it could be an added, you know, bit of interest.
And we're going to touch upon this perhaps in a general discussion, but in terms of us, the situation in Ireland at the moment means that we're likely to have an even stronger Irish kind of representation. You're an English-based trainer. You want to win the 175 grand prize.
Dearly, yes.
I don't suppose you're too happy about that, are you?
Get in line, Kevin, get in line.
No, I think it can only be good, can't it? You know, it's great to see it's so well supported. You know, especially with the Shelbourne situation at the minute, it's obviously, you know, brought even more dogs into the equation as well. So it can only be good for it. And I think Towcester, you know, will be such a good home for the derby. Great track for it, and I think the place will be buzzing. Okay. And then, Martin, just bring you in terms of sort of Irish clients of yours, perhaps. I mean, have you had any kind of, you know?
Not as yet. I dare say when we get up here and the prices go on the board, when we start betting during the derby and get the anti-post market up, we'll see, you know, money flying about for a few varying dogs. But as Ian said, you know, there could be like 50, 60 runners this year from across the water, so it'd be unheard of before for the Irish amount of runners that we're going to have over here. And you know, seven round derby, they could, you know, the survival of the fittest. pick their way through, and you'll be looking, thinking, where's this come from at the period of time? And there's so many good dogs, as you've been saying, that 28, 30 dogs in Ireland could run round here and quite happily, do that. JT Jet, we've picked up on last year's number, was a 50-1 chance. But to me, he's not the wildest of wide runners around here. I thought he ran the track really well in his trial and sort of cut the bends better than he would do. People were saying that, wide runners aren't really suited by Towcester, and they swing off into the car park there to be seen again going by Milton Keynes. He wasn't quite as bad as that in his trial. And certainly, I think plenty of dogs will just come here and improve for the runs, and when they get to see Towcester and they get them runs inside them that they've not been having at the moment in Ireland, you can certainly see something from across the water, not one of the front runners thinking, what's this?
You're going to earn your money.
We will do.
With 50 or 60 Irish runners, I'd say it'd be a few accounts opened. And all of a sudden, as an odds compiler,
there'll be a few accounts closed.
They say a racing manager is a tough job. I'll tell you. You want to wear a crash helmet now.
I think the IGB sort of crashed with the traffic. And we're looking at the videos of there. What's this been doing?
I mean, I think you make a very, very valid point in terms of JT Jet, for example, a greyhound who massively improved on his second look here, and that's what Towcester can do. I mean, not too dissimilar, Kevin, to other tracks around the country. It's always good to have a look, but here seems more than most. Would that be right?
I think so. Probably with a wide runner, it would be. Once you've had 2 or 3 looks around, you really start to improve then. But I think JT Jet's run the track perfectly well. I don't think the track's an issue whatsoever for that dog.
And it's massively improved. With certainly the work that Towcester promised to do. They're doing that. They continue to do it.
Has all been
it's
done.
Getting better all the time.
The banking's as it should be again now, and that can only help the wide runners. For me, there's only been one wide dog that's not really run it, and that's Royal Hawaii. He's just not handled the place. He don't look like a Towcester dog whatsoever. But that's one dog from any number, so I don't quite see the wide running being an issue as some people like to make out. So a dog like JT Jet could be a massive price at that.
I think that concludes our chat about possible Irish outsiders for the Star Sports English Greyhound Derby. We've got some general Derby memories coming up.